Good evening and welcome to the City of Battle Creek, Michigan and our Battle Creek City Commission meeting for October 21st, 2025. It is 7 o'clock p.m. We welcome you to our meeting. First item on our agenda is our invocation. We're going to have a moment of silence for our invocation, and then we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll call upon Commissioner Jessica Lacoste to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you're able to for the moment of silence. Commissioner Jessica Lacoste.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Lacoste. Next item on our agenda is roll call. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
Commissioner Kotarski-Smith. Here. Commissioner Lacoste.
Here.
Commissioner Lance.
Here.
Commissioner Morris.
Here.
Mayor Banky.
Here.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Here.
Commissioner Reynolds.
Present.
Commissioner Simmons.
Just heard him a second ago.
Commissioner Simmons.
I'm here. I'm joining remotely while on military duty.
Thank you. And Vice Mayor Sophia. Here. Thank you.
And Commissioner Simmons, I'm very sorry I didn't get back to you during the workshop on your comments. So, would you like to give them now?
No, I'm good. I'll follow up with it later. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. First item on our agenda is proclamations and awards. And we have a special award for Family Court Awareness Month for 2025. I'm going to present that first. I'd like to call upon Lisa to step forward and to share some information, and then I'll read the proclamation.
Good evening. My name is Lisa with Protective Parents of Michigan. I'd like to thank the City of Battle Creek for acknowledging that child safety should be the priority in family court and custody decisions. 1 in 3 Michigan families are directly impacted by domestic violence, but abuse also affects each one of us in our communities. And I kind of did a little bit of math here before coming to the community, and you have approximately 17,000 families that would, based on those odds, be affected by domestic violence. Without proper training for family courts on domestic violence, children continue to be exposed to abuse and families need more social support, putting an extra strain on the local services like shelters, counseling, and child protective services. Post-separation abuse in family courts puts the children in harm's way because abusive parents are more likely to seek sole custody and are successful 70% of the time. Tragically, abuse is often not understood or believed by the family courts, and many children are ordered into unsupervised contact with their abusive parents. 60% of perpetrators who abuse their spouse will also abuse their child or children. Adverse childhood experiences such as abuse, both pre and post-divorce, negatively impact the child's development, their relationships, and their mental and physical health. So, most child abuse is perpetuated in the family by a parent. 7 families from my church alone have protective parents who have lost all of their rights in family courts. All mothers that I know and cherish dearly. Children are 3 times as likely to be shot at home than in a mass school shooting. And 1 child dies every 6 days amid custody fights and family court cases. And this does not consider the numbers of post-separation abuse that causes teen suicides or attempts following court-ordered visitation with their abusive parent. Children often lose their personal agency and their loving, safe parent. They are forced against their will even to sign a denial of the abuse, or they are prevented to see their parent or their close friends. Most alarming is, in 2008, 39 Michigan children have been murdered, or since 2008, 39 Michigan children have been murdered during divorce or custody battles. One of these children was Rowan Maury Poles of Caledonia, Michigan, who was not returned to his mother at the end of father's parenting time and was later to be found victim of a murder-suicide. Rowan's mom had been unable to have an Amber Alert issued despite appealing to the police and the family court judge. A new law has passed the House, however, and is being now considered in the Senate. It's called Rowan's Act for Rowan. This would allow state police to issue an Amber Alert more quickly when the child is considered to be in danger. We are also trying to establish Caden's Law in Michigan to prevent future tragedies. Caden's Law focuses on prioritizing child protection over parents' rights. Now, this is one that I get asked a lot about. That does not mean that a child gets to decide their welfare. It means that abuse would be considered in their situation prior to awarding custody. This law was named for Caden Mancuso, a 7-year-old girl murdered by her father during court-ordered unsupervised parenting time after the court ignored the father's history of abuse. Caden's Law would require training for judges about all types of abuse. And judges would need to consider past history of domestic violence when making such custody decisions. Our children's lives are literally dependent on the courts becoming educated on these issues. It's not that the judges are making bad decisions, it's that they need more knowledge. There's much more current information now about different types of abuses, and judges need to be educated more on them. Thank you for proclaiming November as Family Court Awareness Month in the city of Battle Creek. If you would like to support Caden's Law, please contact your state representative and the Family and Veterans Committee members in the Michigan House of Representatives. To support Rowan's Act, please contact your state senator. If you or someone you know is struggling to protect their children in family court, please contact Protective Parents of Michigan Facebook support and the Rowan Project Organization website. Today is 3,008 days that I am without 3 of my children, and their oldest brother is without his younger siblings. They were all teens, except for the eldest, who had just turned 18, and it was complicated, but I didn't have enough money, like most parents on both sides, to fight for the protection of my children. I gave it everything I had. I had 3 mediated agreements with somebody that was difficult to get along with, even in marriage. And after that, those mediated agreements were flipped around back onto me. I was thrown into jail for 30 days. And while I was in jail, the children, my ex-husband was allowed to break into my home, break through the windows. Children who were afraid of their father and chase after them. There was an entourage of people. the eldest son got away because he knew he would have been, if he did anything to intervene, he would probably have been arrested too. That young man is now 30 years old and does not want to live anymore. He misses his siblings. This has got to stop. Another mom I have just met, 3 young children like I was at the beginning. I was married 25 years. Nowhere to go, no way out. She's in that predicament now and's been turned away from everywhere. She was breastfeeding her baby and was strangled until she lost consciousness. And yet the courts now tell her she has to have 3 current incidents for father not to get his rights back, or for 3 new things have to happen. So the more we can do to give this a focus and for domestic violence to be considered, the better. So thank you.
Lisa, would you please join me so we could make the proclamation here? Thank you very much. Finally, Family Court Awareness Month aims to encourage collaboration among legislators, advocates, professionals, and community to improve family court practices, ensuring that they are guided by evidence-based research and to prioritize the safety and the best interests of the children. Therefore, on behalf of the citizens of the City of Battle Creek, we do hereby proclaim the month of November 2025 as Family Court Awareness Month in the greater Battle Creek area. And we ask all neighbors and citizens of Battle Creek to do their part to support Family Court Awareness Month and advocate for a safer, more informed family court system. Lisa, we thank you very much for stepping forward and being the shining light that we need to remind ourselves of our responsibility. Thank you. We have some beautiful Battle Creek awards, and I would ask Commissioner Lacoste and Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell to join me. This is for Plumeria. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Yes. Please come forward. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
Did you guys have anything to say about what you guys did as far as work done?
I didn't really come prepared, but it was 2 years of every blood, sweat, and tears we had to make, to restore that old building. So we're honored to be able to do that and to keep that fundamental structure here in Battle Creek. Do you have anything to say? It was him and his dad that did it all.
A lot of long days. It came around, but it's a very solid building, and I think we've got another 100 years left in it. So.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it anytime businesses can do something like that and renovate. So we really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Michael J. Brower and Alyssa M. Brower, are they here tonight? We will get that to the Browers. Gail M. Raymond, 47 Mauer, are you here tonight? We'll get this to Gail. Barbara and Jarek Zahill, am I pronouncing that correctly? We will get that to both Jarek and Barbara. Last one. Ace Hardware, the newest hardware store in Battle Creek. We want to thank all of our nominees and all the NPCs that make the recommendations to improve our Battle Creek community one house at a time. We feel it's very important for our beautiful Battle Creek Awards to be given out at least quarterly, and we thank you. And without further ado, we'll go on to the rest of the meeting. Next item on our agenda is chair noting any added or deleted resolutions.
There were none.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item on our agenda is petitions, communications, and reports.
There were none.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is public comment regarding any remaining agenda items, limited to 4 minutes per individual. If you'd like to make public comment regarding any remaining agenda item, please raise your hand, and we will acknowledge you to come forward to the podium. You'll have 4 minutes to make your comments. Please state your name and address before beginning your comment and indicate which agenda item you are speaking to. Are there any public comments at this time? Are there any public comments? Seeing none, next item on our agenda is commission comment regarding meeting business.
I would like to move to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the consent agenda. Is there any comments or questions or clarifications needed by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on the consent agenda? The consent agenda has been approved. Did we get Chris Simmons in there? Yes, we did. Thank you, Chris. Which is the first resolution on the regular agenda?
Number 260.
260, thank you. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 260. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This resolution would authorize the city manager to execute a grant agreement with Neighborhoods Incorporated of Battle Creek to fund a tenant-based rental assistance program in the amount of $241,305.86. The funds for this agreement come from the Federal Home Investment Partnership Program. The funds encompass allocations from 2024 in the amount of $155,477 and 2025 in the amount of $85,828.86.
I would like to move for the approval of Resolution 260.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Resolution 260. Are there any comments, questions, or clarifications needed by the City Commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 260? Resolution 260 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 261. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This resolution seeks approval from the Commission to utilize Public Act 152 of 2011 to implement the 80-20 requirement of the Act for plan year ending December 2026. Public Act 152 of 2011, known as the Publicly Funded Health Insurance Contribution Act, sets forth requirements for local units of government regarding the amount of public funds that can be used toward the cost of medical insurance benefits for public employees. Those options are 80-20 and hard cap. The 80-20 provision has been included in the city's collective bargaining agreements. Therefore, it would be in the city's best interest to continue with the requirements of Public Act 152 by adopting the 80-20 option for the plan coverage year beginning January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2026. The city continues health plans with Blue Cross Blue Shield, High Deductible Plan, Simply Blue PPO Plan, and an alternative lower-cost Blue Care Network HMO. The city will meet the 80-20 requirement of Public Act 152.
I would like to move through the approval of Resolution 261.
Second.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 261. Are there any comments, questions, or clarifications needed by the Commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 261? Resolution 261 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 262.
This resolution is seeking the renewal of the city's group dental plan with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026. The estimated cost is $383,277, which is a decrease of 9.3% in cost for the 2025 plan year. The cost of dental is covered for active employees at 100% by the city, and the expense is budgeted annually.
I'd like to move for the approval of Resolution 262.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 262. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 262? Resolution 262 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 263. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This resolution, if approved, will allow the city manager to renew various self-funded health care plans with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan and Blue Care Network. The costs for the city plans are based on its own experience and include services provided plus fees for administrative services. The cost for January 1 through December 31, 2026 is $9,767,063. This is a budgeted expense.
I would like to move for the approval of Resolution 263.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 263. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 263? Resolution 263 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 264. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This resolution would authorize the city manager to enter into an agreement with Guardian to provide city-paid group term life insurance and AD&D coverage for employees and their spouse or children for a 2-year period beginning January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2027. This is a budgeted expense and will be allocated to departmental budgets. The annual cost is estimated to be $129,936, which is a 28.9% decrease from the city's current provider.
I'd like to move for the approval of Resolution 264.
Support.
Moved and supported to approve Resolution 264. Are there any comments by the Commission? Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell.
Just a quick one. I know, I just want to say thank you to everybody that does all the work for these insurances that we just all voted on. It is very hard work to do, and some of them have increased and some decreased, thank goodness. But I just applaud their efforts because it is a very difficult job to do. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 264? Resolution 264 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is general public comments, limited to 3 minutes per individual. If you'd like to make general public comment regarding matters over which the City Commission has control, please raise your hand and wait for us to acknowledge you to come forward to the podium. You will have 3 minutes to make your comment. Please state your name, address prior to beginning your comment. Any comments tonight? Yes, Autumn Smith.
Good evening, Autumn Smith, Battle Creek. Once again, I stand here disappointed, frustrated, and frankly outraged by the continued lack of transparency and accountability within the Battle Creek Police Department, and by this Commission's silence in the face of it. Let's talk about the recent cover-up involving multiple BCPD officers during a training and about former Officer Hunter Barnett, who was originally charged with serious criminal activity involving a firearm while under the influence of alcohol. Barnett's case has now been quietly resolved. He pleaded his charges down to weapons possession while intoxicated, with the charge of pointing a gun at someone was dismissed. With the help of a fellow uncooperative BCPD officer victim, he ended up having his CCW suspended and walks away with probation, a far better outcome than what an average citizen would ever get under the same circumstances. And just like before, it's taken retired BCPD whistleblower and myself to bring these serious issues out in the open because Chief Bagley refuses to admit or address them. Chief Shannon Bagley is not being honest with the public about what is going on inside his department. Instead of forthright communication, we've gotten half-truths, evasion, and the same old attempt to sweep things under the rug. You would think this commission would have learned after what happened with the previous administration, the lies, the denials, the retirements, and the early retirements and sudden resignations that came when the truth finally caught up. Maybe ask Jackie Hampton, Jim Saylor, Marie Alonzo, Ken Tushiyama, Jim Ritzma, or Russ Claggett how well things worked out for them when they chose to lie, hide, deny, or cover things up. And let's not forget, after I exposed the BCPD's use of Signal messaging app earlier this year, and after Chief Bagley admitted that CJIS sensitive information was being released on it, a direct violation of federal law, the department has continued using Signal anyways. Every division still has its own private Signal chat, beyond the reach of FOIA, completely unmonitored and unaccountable. So I have to ask, how much information about the Hunter Barnett incident was discussed and deleted from the Signal chats? How much potential evidence that could have helped the Wayne County prosecutor or Livonia Police Department has been erased because of the culture of secrecy and arrogance? Commissioners, your silence makes you complicit. The people of Battle Creek deserve honesty and transparency in leadership, not another round of cover-ups and backroom excuses. You can either demand accountability
Thank you for your
now
comments.
or
Thank you
repeat
for
the
your comments.
mistakes of those who thought they could hide the truth forever. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other public comments?
Mayor, can we hold off for just a minute and allow the clerk to get the timer?
I'm not sure, the timer is on my screen.
Okay.
But the last resolution is stuck up there, and I've kind of gone back and forth, and I can't get it to change. So I've now set the manual timer that we used to use all the time.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Ma'am, did you want to speak? Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Nichelle Palmer. I am coming to speak about an incident that happened yesterday with the male that passed away from the motorcycle in the car accident. And I wanted to speak on that in an incident that also happened with his brother / best friend being arrested. So my first thing is that it was not properly cut off. So the person that was deceased was in Rogers Glass parking lot, and officers were at the top of the hill, but there was no caution tape up there. So there were people that were not involved, but also family members walking down the hill past his body. They were not informed by the cop when they were told on who they were to come down the hill that his body was there, to like kind of give them time to get their bodies prepared or themselves prepared walking past them to go behind the caution tape. Myself and his brother / best friend got there at the same time, and he told me to go back in the car so he could go down the hill to proceed to see exactly what happened. Because like usual, it goes to social media before it's properly stated on what happened. So I myself was in the car and I heard yelling, and because that's my child's father and my boyfriend, I understood that it was him. I got out the car and proceeded to go down and ask questions. One of the officers told me that he just got there. He didn't try to say, I can help you get and talk with someone and see where he's at. And one of the people there actually told me that he got arrested and that he was taken down to the station, which was not true. They would not allow me to see him or anything, so I couldn't get the story, but I just knew something was wrong. Finally, I was able to like go around on the other side of the caution tape, and they released him from talking to the male that was deceased on the scene's grandparents, and they were able to get him out of the cop car. But still, he was obviously upset. There was tension going on, emotions going on, and he had stuff going on between the trauma that had happened with the officers. So what I have here on my notes is that so at the moment that he was released, I didn't ask questions or anything. I just hugged him and consulted him of what the situation that was just happening. And we were standing, like I said, the caution tape was only cut off for Roger's glass, and then on the other side, not where the cars were or anything. There were 2 cars, a truck and a car involved in it.
Ma'am, we only allow 3 minutes.
Okay.
If you would like to talk to the representative from the police department, you can do
Yes.
that.
Okay.
Or the city manager after the meeting, okay?
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Are there any other public comments at this time? Yes.
Evening, Steve Koch, Washington Avenue. Last week, while I was at the Secretary of State before they opened at 9 a.m., we had a gentleman do something that was not appropriate in front of at least half a dozen individuals. Law enforcement was contacted. They showed up, and their idea of showing up is doing a drive-by in front of about a dozen of us. Never stopped, never slowed down, never did anything. Never got a phone call. No one seemed to give a rip. So at that point I said, you know, this isn't right. So I went down to the police department where everybody was back behind probably about 9:20, 9:30, back in the back part of the window there at the building. And a lady came up and I told her I wanted to speak with the chief of police because this matters is dealing with an officer who, as far as I'm concerned, I'm prior military, that was dereliction of duty. Okay, that's really basic. She said, well, the chief's not in. Oh, okay. You can talk to his secretary. Okay. So it gives me a phone number. I call. I get a voicemail. I said, oh, this is good. So then I left there because, of course, I'm not going to get any answer from anybody at the police department, even though this is a police matter. So I came here to the city hall, at which point I then tried to contact my mayor. He wasn't available. And then, so I said, okay, who could else? City manager. Nope, city manager not available. But I will say, very shortly after that, after I left the voicemail with the manager's office, Ted Deering was kind enough to give me a call back. He said, I will look into this and I will deal with the problem. I said, thank you very much. About an hour and a half later, I get a phone call from a sergeant saying, hey, what's going on? And I explained what was going on. And he said, well, okay, we'll look into it and we'll see what we can do. Well, long story short is finally they caught the individual who had done what they had done, and it was basically, it seemed like nobody seemed to really care about doing their job. No one seemed to really give a rip about doing their job. And I'm probably, like I said, I'm paramilitary. I can tell you right now, if I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing in my job career that I was in when I was in the military, that's at least a letter of counseling, okay, at minimum. And it goes up the chain of command because everybody in the chain of command from above all the way down is supposed to know better, okay? So when I call and talk to the chief and the chief's not available, then he can't talk to everybody going down the hill to make sure everybody's aware that you're supposed to at least do your job, at least care about your job. So again, this is where we're at, and I wore the proper shirt for the occasion. I thought this was appropriate because it seems like to me that the only one that cared of all the contacts I made was Ted. And this is not even his job to investigate law enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Steve. Are there any other public comments at this time? Yes.
Reese Atkins, 84 South 23rd Street. I want to say thank you to everybody that was involved in the Share Center, getting them the ability they need so that we can keep our homeless people safe this winter. I know it was a quick doing, but I do appreciate everybody that was involved in it, and thank you, because hopefully this is a start to get the homeless problem under control and get it dealt with. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comments at this time? Yes, Gene.
Hi, my name is Dean Warden, 223 Martha. I wanted to recognize one of the city employees who I think has done an exemplary job. This employee is new to his position in Public Works. His name is Mr. Steve Seaman. He has been very responsive to some concerns I've had about as I advocate for the Riverside Park playground area. He's done a lot of work to get it in shape and cut grass that wasn't cut. If you've been by the sign, you now know you can see the sign that proclaims it's a city park in Battle Creek. All the overgrowth is gone. He took down 3 trees that had been dead for a few years behind my house, which served as the city agreed upon barrier between the playground and the houses on Martha, where I couldn't get much satisfaction or cooperation from previous employees. He came right out a couple days after I called him. A few weeks later, the trees were down and the ground was leveled, and now we're working on getting those trees replaced. So I just want to recognize him for the job well done. Also, I do want to thank the police department. I've said before, I have a very good view of the parking lot area, the back parking lot area of the park. There's been very little car traffic up there this summer. Before, the concern was after we had the unfortunate tragic incident there where someone lost their life. Again, and along with the potential of a lot of drug activity there, it looks like the police continue a couple years later to monitor that park well, and I rarely see headlights after dark up in that area, so that's a compliment to the police department. So that's about it.
Dean, thank you very much for your comments.
Oh, let me slip one more thing in. You know, I've advocated for the maintenance of the baseball diamonds. I just happened to be going down Capitol past Piper Park today, and unfortunately that diamond is entirely grown in. The infield is now gone. The diamonds are not being maintained. Up at Riverside, same story. Is not quite as bad, but all over town. So again, I don't know what needs to be done to get that addressed, but that sure would respect the citizens of Battle Creek and the little boys and girls who would like to use that diamond or all our diamonds, that they're there. Because once they're overgrown and not maintained and gone, that's one less recreational opportunity for the families of Battle Creek. So if we could get that addressed, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Any other public comment at this time? Kathy?
No, it will be.
Okay, cool. I was counting on that. Kathy Antea, Park Ridge Drive, Battle Creek. Several things. First of all, thank you to the city staff, the city commissioners, and all those people involved in creating the Share Center's weather emergency shelter status. We really appreciate that. That will save lives this winter. Also, kudos to the city, specifically to the Department of Public Works, for the amazing, quick, and efficient job they did on repaving the Ridgemore Road, Gooddale, blah, 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 on down. They tore it up on a Friday, and on the following Monday, it was paved and drivable, and that was excellent. I really appreciate that. I drive that way all the time. I also want to thank the city, specifically the Community Development Department office, Helen Guzzo's staff. Thank you, Helen, for supporting your continuing support for the neighborhood planning councils. Our neighborhood planning council is very active. We were at an event last week that was very invigorating about the housing situation. We really appreciate that. Sometimes people say to me, you know, what do NPCs do? They don't do a whole lot. Well, I just want to lift up as an example the post-addition NPC and give kudos to them. I think their efforts are the biggest reason why Fire Station number 3 is staying in the post-addition. So I'm really glad for that, and I think that they are an amazing NPC as well. And then finally, of course, I'm here to remind everybody about the Share for Share event. So the Share Center is having a fundraiser November 6th. You can go online to sharecenterbc.org to order your dinner admission tickets and to be a sponsor. We're still really interested in getting anybody to sponsor the event. Even $20 as a sponsorship is a significant amount and we're appreciative of that. However, you cannot buy raffle tickets except live or by using an order form. I do have some order forms with me. If you don't have cash or a check and you don't want to write me a check today, you can order them. You'll have to mail it in or email it in, and tickets will be sent to you, but you can do that. But I have tickets for sale, although I will not sell them in the building. I will be waiting outside afterwards if anybody would like to buy the raffle tickets. And thank you for the commissioners who have already done so. I really appreciate all y'all. And I think, I covered it. Thank you
Kathy.
very much.
Thank you. Any other public comment this time? Yes, Lisa.
Lisa from Protective Parents. Homelessness, it hits everyone. Think of those 17,000 from your communities that we talked about, 1 in 3, right? I was rendered homeless, and so was my son. This is his voice.
In my head that I will never forget, and it haunts me to this day. There was a day where she went to court, and we were expecting her back at a time. And this is when I was living with my siblings 7 years ago. And we heard a knock at the door, and we weren't expecting it. And next thing we knew, someone had broken through the glass around the front door and was breaking in. And there was an entourage of people that came in with my father, who was there's a memory that sticks in my head that I will never, around the front door, and it was breaking in. And there was an entourage of people that came.
Well, it goes on to say about how he escaped and how we were rendered homeless. We lived out of a tent, and until it was so cold that we were able to secure staying in with the help of the abuse shelter, some blankets, and then we slept in the van. It was approaching Christmas time and getting colder, and we were able to then, he got really sick, so I said, I was working 96 hours a week just to try to get some money to get us on our feet again. And so we stayed in a hotel as long as we could, and I was teaching at that time, and I was also working in hospice on the evenings and weekends. He was then hit by a car walking to his job, and then needed to be tended to at home. So not only did I work the 96 hours a week, but I also helped tend to him, secured him a home, but then I was still homeless. This last June, I went back to court again, and I was actually chided for my son being made homeless because of me. And I sat there in absolute re-trauma and shock. I was a protective mom. I love my children very much. I was a stay-at-home mom. And I did what I was supposed to do. I protected.
All right, time is up. I'm very sorry. Are there any other public comments at this time? Are there any other public comments? Seeing none, are there any commission comments at this time? Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things about safety. You got Halloween coming up, so I just want to remind everybody, be safe and watch for the young citizens out there going door to door and collecting candy in the neighborhoods. And just want to talk about the Share Center events coming up, so full support of that happening in our town, and thank you for everyone supporting that effort. And then NPCs were brought up earlier, and that's really important that we get there. A lot of things have happened here at the commission level due to the MPC, so they're very important if you can attend. Even if you can't do the one in your neighborhood, but get somewhere where you can be with a person representing another neighborhood just to help them out. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Morris?
Thank you, Mayor. When I got on this commission 5 years ago, one of the issues that sparked my desire was improving relationships between my community and the police. What I witnessed yesterday showed me we have so much further to go than I thought. Our community suffered a tremendous loss yesterday, and where our trauma-informed officers should have been compassionate as humans, from one officer, there wasn't an ounce of empathy. In fact, disrespect and disdain would be words I'd use to describe what I witnessed. One officer added to the trauma. You do not have to antagonize grieving people to do your job. I'm thankful for a few of the officers that were there that showed us they cared. And I hope that we get our officers the training they need, and I hope that accountability will be taken for the way that he represented our police force. And if policy allows for an officer to ultimately identify himself, the policies are failing us. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commission comments at this time? Seeing none, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for attending tonight.